Ooh, Arteezy liking. I'm liking this one, Breaky.
That's been overdone so much. So much. Lycan, though, interesting to me against Earthshaker and Disruptor. Once again, I go back to that where Glimpse seems pretty good against this hero. Earthshaker's blocking in general with the Fissure also potentially pretty good. So there's obstacles to go around for Lycan. It is an RTZ specialty as you're getting at, but those would be my concerns off the bat at least.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, there are some concerns. The Earthshaker Slam, of course, as well. Pangolier is pretty good at clearing up the summons. But the Lycan is one of those heroes that you can kind of just leave alone in the lane. He's going to be just fine. You can get a lot of stuff done elsewhere on the map, which allows your Bane and your Earth Spirit to be very active early on. And then it solves all of your pushing problems. Because right now, Evil Geniuses has basically no building hitting at all. And Lycan, now you can pick Sumail, any hero, basically, in the entire game. And you're still going to be able to end the game whenever you want to.
Well, they do ban Puck. How about that? So J.Storm, again, knowing about the interaction, and Sumail definitely could potentially be playing it, so not going to give them the option here. A hero that maybe does have high tempo with this Lycan strategy, so they could go either that direction, something like what would have been a Puck, or maybe even like a DK, just really heavy objective pushing, or more of a, say, it's something like a Medusa mid, where one that can take over the game late game if it happens to get there. Is there one way or the other you'd be leaning towards it for EG?
I don't know. It does seem kind of like a pretty big tempo lineup. I think that we will see something that combos more with the Darkseer, because right now the Vac wall doesn't seem like it's very utilized by Evil Genius's lineup. Lycan provides 0 team fight. Earth Spirit does, but I don't think that Vac into like Boulder Smash is necessarily your ideal pairing for that hero, So maybe something, I don't know. We have seen quite a bit of like Sumail Quap.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of some other heroes that he plays that have big AoE. I don't know, an Invoker perhaps, but
maybe in that too. Yeah. I was thinking Quap myself actually. That you mentioned that. Quap seems like, again, the good synergy with the vacuum. And just that higher tempo here earlier on, too.
Evil geniuses.
Also, Shadow Fiend is potential. Okay, so they're going to go with the OD. And this is a very, very early game lineup from Evil Geniuses. OD is, again, one of those heroes that likes to fight between 15 and 25 minutes, and then after that, he tends to fall off quite a bit. Juggernaut seems to be reasonably good against all of EG, but if EG hits their timing, which is one of their specialties, is knowing their timings on their lineups.
Yeah.
They could definitely run over J.Storm. Just because Jug he's a hero that's kind of generally slow. Whether you're going for Battle Fury or even just like the Manta Diffusal or the Maelstrom, none of these things really make you feel like you're the strongest hero on the map immediately.
So Bryle's here potentially coming up for J.Storm. Again, it goes back to Pango, whether or not they want to run him in that mid and now the OD matchup, that they'd be confident would be the case. A hero like Kunkka does come to mind still, making sure it's not banned. And not banned over there, so.
That's definitely a Bryle hero that we see quite often. So the only problem about that is OD is pretty brutal to lane against for most melee heroes, just maxing the Astral.
Well, they don't got much more time left to choose on who they're going to be running here in this game one, a major spot on the line. And it's going to be the Death Prophet with the final pick. So it's going to be a Forev Pango more than likely. With Bryle getting his hands on Death Prophet. We'll confirm that in a second here. But that's what they go for the matchup against OD. Definitely seems solid, of course. Now, again, DP against Lycan, can't necessarily do a lot against Lycan. It is usually pretty tanky yourself as the game goes on, so maybe not overall concerned about that. It does have good creep clear, I suppose. So, yeah, trying to go through the pros and cons here, but what do you think about the final pick of the Death Prophet?
It gives them, I don't know, it's interesting. The silence is definitely really good against most of EG. The silence in particular is a big thing for me. It'll allow you to cancel the Fiend's Grip, of course, shut down the OD pretty heavily until BKB. And it gives them some more early game tempo power spike around the Exorcism. It gives them a little bit of better Roche and just the ability to kind of like put the DP up front, make a lot of space for Mu. I am a little bit concerned by the pace that J.Storm is going to be running this game. Fear on the Earthshaker is going to be a relatively slow hero in terms of being able to really contribute and set up for his team. So I think I kind of favor the EG lineup, but of course, if EG were to take a couple bad fights and lose their tempo, then J.Storm definitely has the better late game for sure.
All right, game number 1, best out of 3 here between Evil Geniuses and J.Storm. Going to find out how it's going to shape up. Arteezy on his Lycan, Sumail playing that OD. There's comfort heroes across the board. In fact, you see the levels even. I got Forev on plenty of Pango games himself, and yeah, Moo on the Juggernaut. Also up there, level 12 in fact. So here we go into laning phase now. All right, so as far as any potential tri lanes coming out, I think this is going to be pretty standard 2-1-2 stuff coming out here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll probably see a tri lane to contest runes. That's usually what happens. And it is possible that we see some sort of... The only problem with running an aggressive tri lane for either team really is you don't want to run a tri lane into the Pango because he doesn't really care. Trying to tri lane into the Jug, he doesn't really care either, especially since most of your damage is magic. I think that, I don't know, it's going to be interesting to see where Crit decides he's going to be the most useful, because I don't really see him being that useful against Pango or the Juggernaut necessarily, so he might actually be harassing Brile quite a bit and helping Sumail out.
Yeah, we've seen that before where support just doesn't seem like he's going to do much in the outer lane, just goes mid instead and starts to bully a little bit, trying to set up a victory for his mid laner, so definitely a possibility, but yeah, no doubt Juggernaut, one that may not be as concerned about dealing with the Darkseer. Moves in the hands of S4, of course, here at this bottom lane. And right now, J.Storm has 2 supports down here, ready to go for those bounty runes, as you're mentioning. And they should be able to get both from the looks of it. There's Spirit, no way he's contesting. Forev might try to steal this one, but no, he's not going to be able to grab the top one. And it will be a 2-for-2 split, as far as the bounty runes are concerned, at least. So now the question is, will J.Storm commit to having both supports down here, or are we going to see some early rotations happening instead? Forev's taking some pressure at the top lane, meanwhile.
He's going to try and block this wave down, keep it from going into the tower, or keep his... Yeah, but you can see Arteezy blocking the other wave just briefly to try and counter that play. And he's going to go ahead and pull the second wave just because he can't really contest Fly's Bane. Pango's not a very good laning hero early on. It's a really nice play by Fly here. He's going to try and delay this pull, but Forev is going to grab it with the Swashbuckle, and this is going to allow him to kind of reset the lane to where he wants it to be as a solo offlaner.
Yeah, Bane is really, he's one of the best supports for dealing with this, though, because that sleeve, the de-aggro right there, as we even saw, he's going to be able to activate it again in just a couple of seconds, and there we go. Yep. So the creep wave goes back, and yeah, not as ideal of a pull anymore for Forev. So it's definitely going to be difficult for him at the top lane, it feels like.
Yeah, he's going to look to, aggro's to the neutral camp. Interesting.
Well, not farm over here. Just the mind games continue. Their own separate mini game that Bane and Pango are having. Looks like Arteezy is heading over as well. And he's like, you know what? I don't want to let any CS be lost. He'll take some of the CS here.
Yep. He's going to bring his creeps over. This is, this is just Dota these days. Lots of creep manipulation. Oh, bottom lane.
Yeah, I caught the very tail end of that, but the fissure happened, and with that Thunderstrike, gets the kill. Thunderstrike is definitely a lot of damage. It's one of the highest damage abilities over time in the game at level 1 at least, so Crit eventually falls. What's still this tri-lane down here, remember?
Yeah, 180 damage at level 1. That's pretty ridiculous for any level 1 skill.
Yeah. And
it just really is a pretty brutal thing to lane against as a offlaner or anybody in the offlane itself.
The lane down here.
Wherever the disruptor is.
Exactly. Well, he's S4 could be in some trouble again. Level 1 and disruptor still, so no glimpse or kinetic field for that matter. And that will allow S4 to get out of there. But as soon as Disruptor's level 2, I gotta think just Darkseer is gonna be concerned because, again, whether it's Glimpse or Kinetic Field, both of those abilities are great against Darkseer. As I go back to talking about that with the draft, it seems like that's a strong hero dealing with Darkseer in general.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Crit is having a hard time figuring out where he needs to be. He's kind of just eating some harass. S4 is likely gonna end up just maybe even jungling a little bit. Doesn't want to just feed a bunch of denies over to the Jug. Moo already with 8. And then Crit will just kind of soak some levels. So he'll end up being a little bit accelerated in terms of what he can do. And Darkseer will get something instead of absolutely nothing out of this lane.
Let's take a look at the mid matchup. Brawl versus Sumail. As I say that, Fierce coming in on Earthshaker. Sumail. There comes block. Fear, the great block with the fissure. Out comes the Siphon, and Sumail, I think he's dead. Swarm to finish the job right there, and that's just simply a great rotation from Fear. Of course, taking advantage of that Invis rune that he picked up. There's no way that Sumail was going to be fully aware of what was going on right there.
Yep, and completely set up by the fact that this tri-lane is going so well because they forced the Darkseer out of lane, which allows one of the supports to rotate, and that lucky Invis rune, super easy kill for Fear and Bryle on the Death Prophet.
Yeah. So Darkseer, as we were mentioning, I mean, he's kind of finding himself just simply jungling for the time being, trying to get that Soul Ring picked up as soon as possible. Crit is attempting to soak up experience the best that he can. He's going to be glimpsed back here, chasing after March, going for a possible 4-minute rune spawn, and sure enough, the haste pops right in front of Disruptor. And now he's going to be able to harass a little bit more with it. Not the most damage with those auto attacks, but he'll say hello to Darkseer at least and kind of laugh at him as he has to walk the other way. Again, not much more S4 can do about that. But Crit, he's managed to kind of come up here and soak up experience. He does have the getaway with his rolling boulder, and he's been able to use effectively as far as staying alive for now. But that could change. Of course, always got to be careful.
Yeah, it is kind of interesting because Darkseer is one of those heroes that has like one of the highest win rates. We were talking about it during the draft. But it seems like every single one of his lanes looks something like this. It's always him just getting bullied, like maybe resorting to the jungle, you know, just trying to scrape out a little bit of gold, work towards his soul ring. But ultimately, it's that team fight that he brings to the team and the amazing talents that he picks up later on.
5-minute bounty runes coming in. Bane, he's going to get both of them at the top side. Meanwhile, Crit, he did get the bottom bounty rune. He has another 5 seconds for another barrel, though J.Storm wants to make him pay for this, but I don't think they're going to. He is just a little too fast, it looks like. Going to be able to roll out in TP potentially. Puts a kick back on an Earthshaker. Of course, with Earthshaker, yeah, that's why he's not using the fissure yet, because they're playing the game. Okay, there's a fissure as I say that. He still has another stun as long as he's next to him. In fact, they're going to get Disruptor over here as well. Glimpse. Oh, that's an awkward glimpse from March. Not the most effective. And okay, he's going to die to the tower. Team effort. Well played.
They wasted a lot of their time.
Yeah. Yeah, the glimpse was a little awkward there from Disruptor, but either way, they do get the kill in the end. As Fly is going to harass Forev with the Wolves running after him as well, but you do see Lycan. He's got the Helm of the Dominator picked up, the Dark Troll Summoner in hand. So very good farm for RTs. He's been quietly but very effectively farming the top lane. Meanwhile, middle lane, OD, again, really a great block from Fear. Sumail, nothing more he can do other than just hope to get the support. Kick back from Crit. Well played.
Unbelievable play.
Earth Spirit, baby. That's, you get a comfortable Earth Spirit player, and it's not easy to do. He makes it look easy, but at least he saves his teammate. Of course, he goes down, but very worth the save there.
Yeah, dinner's on Sumail tonight. He's going to be paying for Crit's meals and whatever else he needs for the next month or two for that play.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Death Prophet Exorcism still active during this. Gonna get a little tower damage in, but Sumail, he's back in. No Sanity's Eclipse yet. Actually, he's holding a point, so he still could level it up currently. He thinks he's gonna get a kill with it, but
yep,
not the case. Just gonna harass and get him backed up as the Exorcism comes back in. And Death Prophet will keep his distance now, but yeah, Earthshaker, we've already seen a couple of times. He's hanging around this mid lane quite a bit now. They've set up great farm for Juggernaut at the bottom lane, so the supports are starting to roam a bit more now.
Yeah, Moo is completely fine. He can basically solo zone out S4's Darkseer, and then Arteezy, of course, is completely fine. Already has the Helmet Dominator picked up. This is a very, very farmed Lycan early on. 28 denies. 25 on the side of Moo, 26 actually. So both carries farming extremely well, but tower is already down as Arteezy is playing that Lycan.
Yeah, that's a very, very effective farm, and he's going to just head over to the jungle now, continue that going. Sumail nearby as well. Has an early bracer as well as that null talisman. We've seen this a couple times. I know actually top lane though, Bane, he's by himself. Fly was just trying to soak up some experience up here as Lycan's running over with the shapeshift, but It's not going to be in time at least to save the Bane, and there's that glimpse. RT is going to be glimpsed back. The creatures that are here doing a little bit of damage, but I don't think Forev's going to go down here. I mean, maybe, actually. Still has a Shapeshift running fast after them. It is going to wear off soon, and another Swashbuckle to barely get away for Forev. Wow. The fact that he almost died right there, a little surprising.
Regeneration.
Yeah, Shapeshift is it's a really good ability. the critical chance it gives to you and your units is just pretty nuts, actually, how much damage this hero can do at level 6.
Yeah, I thought the second he got glimpsed back, there's not really going to be a chance, but dang, those creatures hit hard. With the wolves and even the summoner nearly finishing the job. But Pango does survive, and it's a 5-0 lead for J.Storm. So hero kill-wise, you look at this game right now, you're like, oh my god, J.Storm's doing really well, but net worth is favoring EG. And Juggernaut just got caught here, by the way.
Oh, he should be fine.
Yeah, they're just going to harass. They're not going to commit because they know that with Omni Slash and a spin, he could get out of there.
Yeah, also has 12 wand charges, and interesting that he's going to rotate to this mid lane. I guess they want to use this exorcism to make sure they take this mid tower. It is the most important tower in the game, so not surprising to see that much focus here, but the early rotation from Mu is going to allow S4 to continue to farm the bottom lane, catch back up on the Darkseer.
Exorcism holding on to it for the time being. Fly, he might be in trouble. Fury, he's got an angle. He's going. He eventually gets the cast off. He was definitely canceling it quite a bit right there, but does get the cast off. No committal further than that, however. EG's not making this easy. They do defend somewhat, but in the end, J.Storm just has too many numbers, and they do get the tower kill for themselves. S4, he distracts bottom lane, gets a TP out from Moon down here to pick up his farm once again. And S4 will head to the jungle, so Darkseer, he's recovering. He's now 5th in net worth. Still behind, a little bit behind further than he would like to be, but got to start somewhere.
Yep. TZ going for the Necrobook next. Almost has the level 1 complete. That's when things will start to really pick up for this Lycan.
What about Moo's decision to go drums, by the way, earlier on? Good item choice for Juggernaut here.
Yeah, you need the ability to fight early on. You can't rely on your team to just hold off long enough until you can get a farming item. I really like the utility that gives. Pairing it with the phase boots, in fact, means that nobody can run away from your Blade Fury or Omni Slash.
As I was jumping up to the top lane to see this potential action, Disruptor gets picked off. You got the sleep currently on Pango, but it wears off. Swashbuckle away. He'll be good. At the bottom lane, Juggernaut just simply ran up to Darkseer apparently, popped Omni Slash, and with no creeps nearby, I'm guessing just got the kill on him. So catches S4 off guard.
Yeah, just enough slashes. It was the very last one that killed S4's Darkseer. Yeah, just caught him away from the creep wave. But another Lycan Shapeshift expended, but it nets him a kill, and he just goes back to farming. He is well on his way to the next level of Necrobook as well.
Yeah, already level 1. Jeez. He's level 2 being delivered? Yeah, no, it's not. Okay, so he only is level 1 currently. But yeah, it's going fast.
That's an amazing courier, by the way. It's one of my favorites. Yeah.
It is cute. Oh, meanwhile, Fly's dead. Yeah, nothing too important there. They just simply catch him, and he could not get away. I'm guessing maybe a silence thrown in there or something, but free kill on a Bane, and that should translate into a tower kill at the top lane for J.Storm. Of course, the drums we were talking about, Juggernaut, and sounded like that you like that option, and they're already making pretty good use of it, pushing objectives here with it.
Yep. Yeah, so J.Storm taking this relatively, what I would call a little bit greedy lineup and playing it pretty fast with this itemization and their rotations early on. Mu getting involved extremely early. He's playing a very active carry on this jug, and I definitely think that's benefiting J.Storm quite a bit.
Sure, it hits eventually, but Samil, there's that glimpse, still the static storm, and he has no imprisonment though. He is going to go with it still. It does delay some good damage, however, but it's not going to be enough, Samil. So we see the interaction there. It doesn't actually save him from going in. It just delays some damage. That'll happen, but the inevitable does happen as he goes down. I thought they were thinking about Roshan there for a second, but no, you got Juggernaut just running back to the top lane. But yeah, this is, 8-1 hero kill lead for J.Storm. But I keep going back to, EG has the net worth lead. So yeah, is there really an advantage here, or is this just a very even game in your mind?
I think it's still pretty even. I definitely think that EG needs to be a little bit careful feeding a couple more kills because J.Storm, if they're able to take Roche, for example, away from Arteezy's Lycan, then that's going to be a really big deal. But this Lycan is definitely getting pretty scary. He's got Necro Book 2. After this tower, he'll be very close to Necro 3. And with that, I mean, this Death Prophet is going to absolutely melt when he runs in, and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah.
Well, he does have a Yules now and Death Prophet to help, and some things like Shiva's could definitely be coming out down the line.
Purge on the Necro Creep. That's not going to do much.
Oh, yeah, true. Bryle, he is sitting next to the tower. EG's in the area. They, almost like they want to keep going for something here. But you even see Arteezy's taking the Ancients on the Radiant side. They've kind of taken over the map all of a sudden. His Earthshaker, he's caught in no man's land. Gets the Echo Slam out. A lot of damage on a Lycan right there. And the Static Storm as well. Arteezy definitely in trouble. He's going to man up pretty much all that he can to Exorcism, taking down as well. And they do get the kill on a Lycan. Frev rolling up to the side. Samuel's caught by the Pango. Meanwhile, Brawl still running around, sitting to the clip. Not enough damage to get the kill, though, with the put under of the Astral Imprisonment. Trying to stay alive. It's not going to be enough, though. They do finally kill the Death Prophet right there, but now S4, he's going to maybe try to suicide note, realizing maybe he has a chance at the Urn tick, though. Another Urn going off. The jukes are real, though. He might survive this, actually. Oh, deny himself? No, Moo gets credit for the kill. Very close call there, but he does go down. Yeah, too fast. Crit, by the way, he does get out, but overall, a fantastic fight for J.Storm, really. There was a buyback on Earthshaker, but yeah, the fact he got the Echo Slam off, I think, was the biggest difference maker.
Yeah, that was big. I mean, Arteezy had all of his units right next to him, so that is the threat of the Earthshaker coming out there. Fear says, "I taught you everything you know, son. I can take it away anytime I want." Right.
Able to pop that R and get all that damage out. And we saw Arteezy again. All he could do was kind of sit there. Was he got caught in that Static Storm as well, and right click before he ended up inevitably dying. And yeah, it seemed like Pango was also distracting Sumail quite a bit in the back lines throughout that. So well played by Forev too.
Yeah, he caught him kind of alone, isolated him with the Rolling Thunder. And Sumail is definitely having a bit of a rough game on this OD. He's closing in on a blink, but the biggest thing here is Arteezy has Necro 3 online, and now I think they can potentially look towards Roche before Fear has a blink dagger. We'll see if they smoke up. I think they'll probably smoke up and try and take a fight before Exorcism's back up as well. Very high cooldown ultimates on the side of J.Storm.
Smoking around Sumail. OD the only one showing right here, but J.Storm, they're not going to fall for anything, at least for right now. Currently.
Invis Wolves scouting it out.
True. Yeah, doing plenty of that. Who do they catch here? Disruptor. They're going to get Marge. That's obviously, if you're J.Storm, you're like, okay, whatever. He tanked the gank. That's fine. Moo top lane. Fly comes in, but the spin on happens, and Moo has to run, though.
They're gonna Fiend's Grip.
Yeah, there's the Fiend's Grip. There is support nearby, though. Bryle's here as well. Exorcism coming up in a second. They get the turn kill onto the Bane, and now it's a 4 versus 4. Exorcism going to be committed. Pops the Yules as well, and the Siphons are up, but they eventually wear off because Arteezy out of range. The Echo Slam on top, only him nearby, though. Bryle's, meanwhile, he's dying off to the side of all the minions that are on top of him, and eventually will go down, but Arteezy, can he get away? The Aaron's taking him down. The Autumn Touch does not bounce over to him. Instead, bounces over to all the creatures nearby, so Arteezy does survive, and Moo, he's in retreat mode. The 3 heroes that are alive for J.Storm, they want to try to get the hell on out of here. It's not going to be easy, though. EG in hot pursuit, and they will catch up to Moo. He's spinning TP, though. I think he's good. Yeah, he is able to get out and ultimately escape.
Oh,
but was looking dangerous.
Sumail was pinging. He's like, use the net. Use the ensnare.
Oh, not going off there.
You didn't use it.
Nope. That's what the pings are for.
Yeah.
The communication. Unfortunate. Well, either way, he does get out, able to survive. Close call there, but Death Prophet, he's back to farming, trying to pick up a BKB. I mean, considering how that was looking, again, I go back to, it feels like J.Storm is okay with that, but I'm saying a lot of this, it feels like J.Storm's okay, they're looking good, the hero kill, but honestly, EG continues to have this net worth lead, and they're the ones that are playing aggressive, man.
Yeah, I'm actually a little bit worried for J.Storm now, because that was an exorcism used for no towers. No objectives at all. EG comes out with the fight win on top of that. And once the OD has a BKB, it's going to be very tough for J.Storm to deal with him.
Yeah.
Regeneration.
Where's that BKB? He's still a ways off of it. So
Yeah.
he doesn't have anything queued up next, but it sounds like you think it's a high priority item. So potentially should be looking to get it next.
Yep. Fear is pretty close to the blink. That'll definitely be a bit of a momentum shift for J.Storm. They'll be able to really focus on Arteezy's Lycan and all of his summons. But he's just doing Lycan things here in the bottom lane. This tower's going to go down very, very quickly. And J.Storm's going to have to come back to this bottom lane because they're not going to be able to pressure this top tier 2 tower before Arteezy's at their base.
Pops this Hal. That tower just melts as soon as fortification wears off. He does have Bane nearby as well to help him out.
Yeah, J.Storm needs to get back.
Yeah, they're not going to win this race. I think it's pretty evident. They want to get the tier 2 tower potentially at least. They have an Exorcism level 1 still for Death Prophet, but yeah, as soon as their tier 3 is going to start taking damage, they're going to start getting
very
back.
aggressive TP by March.
Almost got caught. Fly was going in. The glimpse. Oh, very awkward glimpse. He only went like a foot right there. Mistimed it, unfortunately, so Fly's going to be fine. And everyone did TP back in, really, so the top tier 2 towers taking some damage to the push, but that's really it. Not a lot of damage.
You can see this tower's at half HP. And that didn't take very long at all.
No. Shapeshift
Like
activated.
popped.
Who do they catch? Oh, they want to go for Moo. They're not going to catch him yet, though. You got Pangos in the area, but yeah, Arteezy unable to really find anyone. And instead, we'll have to back it off. Casual plate mail Lycan sitting on currently. Eventual AC.
Wolves definitely do need some armor. And Lycan is one of the lowest armor heroes in the game against the Omni Slash and the Death Prophet ult. He's going the safe route with this one.
20 minutes into the scan, the 20-minute bounty rune's coming up here. Roshan, you got to think is of interest for really both teams in the near future. Definitely, especially the Dire team with Lycan, one that could take it pretty quickly. And as I say this, Bane's checking it out. Forev's checking it out. Forev, in fact, in a Rolling Thunder. Again, the glimpse that really does nothing. Fly, he is going to be bounced back and forth. Static Storm even. They got him. They got him, that's for sure.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
2 ultimates for a Bane.
Yeah, it's probably some overkill.
There's smoke on EG. This is a perfect opportunity to take a fight after that. Shapeshift not up for 25 seconds, unfortunately, however.
Juggernaut pushing out the bottom lane. He's working with that Maelstrom. Help him do so. He's trying to finish a Manta style next. So I'll go on the Manta Maelstrom instead of something like a Battle Fury this game. It's Death Prophet. Her own BKB is also coming along and got me to look at OD. And OD is not interested in going to BKB, it looks like. He does finish a Dragonlance. He wants to go Hurricane Pike, at least for the time being.
Yeah, it'll allow him to get away from the Pango a little bit better and potentially escape the Death Prophet as well. Aside from the silence, there isn't a whole lot that you're that worried about. The Static Storm shouldn't ever really hit the OD unless his positioning is off.
EG's setting up down here. They think that maybe Moo's going to keep pushing, but Moo deciding better of it and for the correct decision on his part. And J.Storm smoking around. We're going to definitely see an engagement here, it seems like. S4 potentially going to be caught initially. Disarm hit, so he was not silenced. Or that change from Pango. Can't do both right here. Anyways, they're going to go on top of Darkseer, popping that mech. He's in the Static Storm, gets away though. Fear with a big Echo Slam, and down goes S4 though. Seemed like he was maybe going to live with this. As soon as the Echo Slam came out, different story. Sending to the Eclipse Tower with the hammer being laid down. They get 2 in return. The Omnislash bouncing around though, and it looks like OD is going to end up falling. That Magnetite's doing plenty of damage from crit, but it's not going to be enough. He falls as well. Double kill for Bryle throughout. 3 are dead on the side of EG. And the other 2 able to retreat. That Omnislash doing plenty of damage though from Moo throughout it. And of course, Bryle able to get the Exorcism off in the midst of the fight. Talk about some good damage from him too.
Yeah, I think EG underestimated the amount of damage that J.Storm could do. It looked like things were going quite well because the Echo Slam, well, it did kill S4. He'd already gotten off most of his abilities, and it missed Arteezy, only catching his summons. But at the same time, that exorcism going off for the entire fight and those procs from the Mjolnir, or the Maelstrom doing a ton of work.
Lycan wrapping around here, pops another house. Almost another engagement seemed like it was going to be taking place, but not the case there. J.Storm retreating from the area. And the net worth continues to be in a very close spot. In fact, dipping back towards J.Storm's favor. It was upwards of about 4,000 not too long ago for Evil Geniuses, but going back the other way. Disruptor, meanwhile, going to be vacuumed in. Got a glimpse off, but doesn't do too much there again. And March, that's a free kill on him. And here comes that Roshan we're talking about. EG going to look to do it quickly. Right now, J.Storm's completely spread out, so I don't know if they're going to have time to defend this. They're going to spot it potentially happening.
No Echo available.
Echo's still down for 45 seconds on our Shaker. And Pango, he might go for it. He's going to try. The timing was pretty good, actually, but the Aegis is picked up by Sumail. The Fiend's Grip locking him in place. And Pango, good sir, the effort was there. All for naught, though.
Arteezy did pop Shapeshift, so they won't really be able to get a whole lot done, as it was just the Pangolier that went in for it.
Moo going to take advantage of that distraction at the Roshan pit, instead push out bottom lane. There is still the tier 1 tower up down here, but he will need to be careful. Lycan's coming over. He's going to not be secret about it. Just runs right up to him. And they start clashing, but of course Moo is able to TP out right in front of him. Not much Lycan himself can do about that. So back to base he goes, trying to finish that Mjolnir next here. But that Hurricane Pike just around the corner for Sumail now. Speaking of item progression, Death Prophet, BKB picked up, working on that Shivas. As we had mentioned earlier, Pangos wants to get a Crimson Guard. Still a bit off of
Fierce
that.
Caught.
Top lane. And he is dead. Trying to push up the top lane. 25-minute bounty rune spawn. March is able to pick up one of the bounty runes, but Crit rolls in. Magnetize going to be applied. Roll it again. They do get the easy kill on a March, but now Crit's pretty committed to this. Pango swashbuckle. It connects. Lucky shots in. And they do get the turn
bottom
kill.
lane, though. Keep an eye on that.
He's trying to push. He's not there just yet, but the EG's losing a couple of heroes here. They lose the Darks here as well. And Arteezy is going to realize he has to fall back for now. Into the jungle he goes. Currently has the Alpha Wolf with him, so some nice enhanced damage. Also with the AC finished recently. But back up to a 4,000 net worth lead, though.
Ridiculous damage from this Lycan. He's just slavering for an opportunity to hit these towers.
He'll eventually get that chance. It's just a matter of when here. The Hurricane Pike mentioned how feels like going to be an important item on OD. And he has it completed now. And I keep going back to the Evil Geniuses. It feels like they've dominated the map. They're the ones that are just moving together as a team. The warding in general has been great, of course. And they're playing always on the Radiant side. They're playing past the river always.
Dire's top tower.
Yeah, they've done a very good job controlling this jungle. And J.Storm, they have controlled the Dire jungle a bit, but not nearly to the same degree of Evil Geniuses. And that's where the gold lead really comes out.
Illusion here, Juggernaut.
J.Storm wants to fight, though, it looks like.
J.Storm's really trying to catch. Swashbuckle misses, though. And now it's the turn for EG to come back in. Crit. He goes for his opening. Magnetize is ready to go. They just pick off Disruptor right away.
2 hits.
He's melting easy. Pango able to swashbuckle out. Crit. He went too far, maybe. Rolling Thunder in, but Crit's able to turn around and roll out the other way. So both teams trying to get that engagement to connect. Not really happening outside a Disruptor kill. But he's died several times. I mean, with his net worth and everything, he's coming back quickly at least. So that's the good news for J.Storm, I guess.
It's classic March. It's just, you know, he's always the one to die, and it usually doesn't matter that much. Static Storm is a pretty important ability of this game, but he's only level 9, so.
EG is still going to sit down here, but Juggernaut is split pushing the top lane, so probably going to have to send somebody up here to at least address him, or maybe not. He's just going to split up with the Manta, put the illusions forward, and run back himself for now. Currently, EG is missing on the map, and we talk about EG's dominant map control. On the other side, J.Storm, understandably, of course, is a little bit of blind vision. This kind of left side of the map, they do have somewhat controlled with some wards down, and they're going to attempt to try to push this tier 2 again. They've done some good damage over time to the tower. In fact, one more really decent push should definitely finish it. It's at 244 life, so I think we're going to see that right here, actually, coming out. So, but this will only be the 3rd tower kill for J.Storm. They've not been able to siege the greatest this game.
Invisibility.
Yeah, despite having a death prophet, and that's a little bit telling of how this game's going right now. I know the kill score is still favoring J.Storm, but it's definitely been EG that's been on the offensive this entire game, as you'd kind of expect with their lineup. Kind of an interesting build deviation by Sumail here, potentially, is he's going to go for a Lotus Orb instead of a BKB, thinking that basically the only thing he needs to dispel is a silence, and so if he has a Lotus Orb, then he can just go for that. The armor is also very nice against Death Prophet and the Juggernaut as well.
Now, the draft you were mentioning, as we're going into game 1 here, you feel like this is a lineup on EG's side that's really about the 25-minute mark or so. They're really going to power spike, and we're kind of seeing that here from EG. Is there a limit, though? And, you know, if so, when would you think that limit's going to be? Are we going to see J.Storm eventually start pulling ahead if this game continues on to a certain point?
Yeah, I think so. I think the Shiva's card on Bryle that's coming out pretty soon is going to be a pretty big item for him, because it's going to not only really slow down the Lycan and the OD as far as their damage output in fights, but it's going to keep the Exorcism going for much longer.
Yeah.
I think that's definitely kind of a scary spot.
Again, we're going to engage what is over here. Echo Slam on an RTZ by himself, but he's caught out by himself. The Omni Slash on top. Oh, no, he's going to live. The Guardian Creep's coming out. He runs away. He's putting over the Astral Imprisonment as well. Darkseer with the wall. The out comes the hammer. The Sanity to the Clips. 2 are dead on the side of J.Storm. Static Storm in the backlands catches Bane himself at Moo. He's already at half-life. He does cut down Darkseer, eventually popping the Mantle Style. Bryle is standing here with the Exorcism and the Siphon, and they do get a turn kill on Bane. So the cores of J.Storm managed to stay alive somehow. Man, the fact that Arteezy lived is the absolute insane thing. Somehow, S4 got there just in time, popping the Guardian Greaves to make sure he got out of there. Boy, oh boy, that's a missed opportunity for J.Storm, though. Thought they had a free kill on Arteezy. It was just enough split out from his team.
Oh, it was so close. Guardian Greaves are such an insane item. That 15 armor when they get below 20 HP. You saw that happen. Like, Arteezy's health was dropping, then all of a sudden just stopped.
Yeah.
And it was kind of almost held in place by the extra armor and the extra HP regen. That was very, very close to being a disaster for EG.
Yeah, that's got to feel so bad for you, for J.Storm, that is, but shows you that, you know, definitely possible. Need a couple more items. Juggernaut, speaking of that, his next tier, he's thinking Scotty right now, so not necessarily a huge damage improvement, but more about sustaining and lasting in these fights.
Yeah, Scotty Slow is also super good against the OD in particular.
So you like the choice there? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely one of those games where Juggernaut, if he gets 6-slotted, he's going to be able to just completely take over the game. Like, the OD is not very good against him. Lycan, going to be shut down by the Jug too. I think that if Moo's able to get Scotty and maybe Butterfly on top of that or something like that, he's going to be almost immortal in these fights.
Yeah. Also, 25s are going to start happening in the near future. Of course, level 20 is currently taking place. He got 20 on Juggernaut. Gets that 10 of armor, so he himself, again, more survivability to work with. 8+ second shapeshift duration. That's a pretty big talent for Lycan. It's a completely different hero, of course, when he has that shapeshift up, as we were mentioning earlier. We've seen so much before. And then the Sanity's Eclipse multiplier picked up by OD for his level 20 talent. So gonna keep an eye on those as we continue on. Now 32 minutes into this game. Bane, Fly, he's gonna scout things out, and he's like, all right, all 5 are here. I found them. So that'll happen.
Fly and March, they both just play very similar roles on their team.
Sacrifice support, man. But there's it's obviously in some teams at least, it's definitely good value. And like right there, I mean, Bane, yeah, he's dead, but He spots all 5 heroes in that area, and so now EG can appropriately do what they need to do, and that includes Sumail. Feels like he's going to be able to freely push the bottom lane, and Arteezy went back to the jungle, etc.
Yep, Moo continues to farm very well. He's got that BKB queued up next, as expected. Super good against the Lycan and the OD. And this Roshan is incredibly important for EG.
Well, J.Storm. I mean, they're not committing Exorcism yet, but you can guarantee if a fight breaks out, that's going to be activated. And we're going to see that soon. S4 vacuum wall. Oh, the wall's a little awkward right there. Not the greatest of the century. Pango, he started channeling, but decides not to. Sumail, he's jumping in as well. Arteezy on the left-hand side. By the way, probably he possibly can be, though. There's the Exorcism, the Siphon on top. Nice runaway, though, with the Surge as... Well, that's a stun. Okay, so I think the Fiend Grip locking down Juggernaut right there, but he pops a Mantis Style. He's sitting on top of S4 off to the left. They do get the kill on a Bane right there. The OD Eclipse does come out. It's not going to really do the most damage, though, it feels like. Arteezy is stuck in place. They get the kill on the Earth Spirit finally, and S4 is barely able to get a 4-staff away to survive. So Bane, he buys back for now. Exorcism is wearing off shortly. And maybe that'll be the time for EG to try to commit for another fight. The buyback on crit as well. Absolutely, that's what they're thinking. Hurricane Pike pushback on Pango. Going to take some decent damage, but managed to live. Get some more plus intelligence, though. Well, that fight, again, yeah, Arteezy, he wrapped around the left-hand side. Seems like the start was half decent, but as soon as that BKB Exorcism comes out from Death Prophet, you can just see EG, they just spread as much as they could.
Yeah. Arteezy doing a good job prioritizing Fear's Earthshaker. He knows that that's one of the worst things that can happen to his team is an Echo Slam on top of all of his summons. So he just beelined it for the supports in the back line. And that definitely allowed Sumail to have a much better fight. Ultimately, I think that J.Storm needs to be a little careful here because they do not have Exorcism at the moment. They do have the Disruptor ult soon, and Echo Slam was not used because he died so early.
And they got Omni still. Hex up on a Juggernaut, but we might see it coming out right here. He's going to run up to OD. OD's in trouble. The Mjolnir proccing himself as well. OD's going to get cut down. No, the Astral Imprisonment at the last second. The Echo Slam on one hero in the back. Let's get the kill on a Darkseer, but the Imprisonment on top of the Blink. He's able to get out of there with the Blink Dagger. Arteezy with that BKB sitting on top of Moo. He's in trouble. Lockdown. Pops the Manta spinning on out, and he will survive the kinetic field, keeping Arteezy in place despite that shapeshift being active. Double kill for Arteezy, though, as he's able to run down March, and an EG who knows that they can go right into the Roshan pit now. Wins Exorcism, 25 seconds. I think EG's definitely getting this Roshan. That's cheese and Aegis for them in the end.
Yeah, this Lycan is an absolute beast in these fights with the BKB active.
Roshan has
of course, that shapeshift, 26-second duration on that, allowing him to run down any of these supports. It doesn't even matter what your positioning is. You're dead.
Yeah.
What have we here?
That's absolutely big for EG. You're mentioning it's going to be a huge Roshan for them specifically, and they do manage to get it. They hold twice against J.Storm, and I mean that's where you kind of question it. Without Exorcism, yes, they had Echo Slam, yes, they had Omni Slash, but it really seems like Exorcism is the absolute tool that they need to really be the most intimidating in these fights. Sumail, glimpse, again, really not the greatest distance though. There, the spot that he was in is Pango. He put himself up here on the cliff. He's going to be able to Shield Crush down, but got a little scary for him. Fissure block as well. In the back of that city, the Eclipse comes out, and he's chasing for more. Pango's already dead. Sumail's feeling really good right now. Of course, he has Aegis as well. Vacuum over the ledge coming out from S4. Fear's definitely dead. Moo's able to run. That's a double damage active on Arteezy, by the way, and they're going for more. They catch up to Juggernaut, beating him down. The stun on OG, trying to save it. The Fiend Grip locking down Moo in place. Moo's going to end up falling as well. He does not have a buyback for 90 seconds. An ultra kill for Sumail to top it all off. By the way, all the tier 3s are still up, and they were basically diving the fountain right there. So they back in? Oh, he jumped in. And now here's the tier 3 tower.
Gonna go down super fast. Moo
Radiant's middle tower
not saving her buyback. He has 200 about until he can buy back, but he might be without any racks by the time he's alive again.
Yeah, I mean Exorcism is basically doing nothing here for Bryle. And it just wears off right there. So now without Exorcism, without Juggernaut for 50 seconds, they do have a level 2 Echo Slam, but I mean, you look at EG spreading. They know that that's maybe the one way that they could throw this, and they're not going to give if you're at any bit of a chance. So they take out bottom. There's a decent glimpse there on Darkseer, sends them all the way to the bottom. Disruptor, he's just a free kill at this point. It's been that way for a while, it feels like. Forev, Rolling Thunder, trying to distract, but we're likely going to see Mega Creeps here all of a sudden, and EG in one fight at this point, they simply just win the game. It's going to seem like that's the case at least.
Yep. Yeah, not much J.Storm can do. I mean, they can kind of defend Megas, but can they really?
No.
This Lycan is... He's just going to take the tier 4s. Big Echo Slam.
Yeah, there's the Echo. Not too bad, but again, it's just too little too late. It feels like tier 4 goes down. Alyssamail, he might get cut down. The sleep helping him a little bit.
No
oh my
kills,
god,
no
he's
kills.
actually going to get away. He has a blink coming back up.
Dead.
Okay, now he gets caught, but again, he still has the ages, so he's going to come back up anyways. Moving the back line, he's trying to do what he can. The Fiend's Grip locking him in place, though, and now Samael turns his attention over to Moo, and Moo is dead. He does have a buyback this time around, but there we go. The GGs are called. It's official. Evil Geniuses takes game 1 here on this best set of 3 for the major qualifiers.
Yep. That was, you know, that was Lycan Gaming. I also got to say that March, well, his playstyle kind of revolves around dying for his team. Maybe just a few too many deaths that game, because ultimately you need the Disruptor's contribution to these fights. Like, Sumail didn't go for a BKB, so if you can just Static Storm him, he can't do any damage.
Yeah.
But Sumail was able to just two-shot him every fight because he had 1,000 health at 30 minutes into the game.
I've always loved Disruptor, and again, on paper, it seems like the skill set should have made sense against heroes like Lycan and Darkseer, but yeah, it was a really unfortunate performance there, and obviously, again, it goes back to Evil Geniuses. They're just a very clean team. They play Dota at a high level so much, and it's just their movement in general. It goes back to even being down. It was like 8 or 9 to 1 at a point early on in this game. They still had a 1,000 net worth lead, so because they just know, not to panic, not to overthink things. Just play your game, move appropriately, and objectives are pretty important too. So, well played. All right, well that's going to do it for game 1. Game number 2, of course, going to be around the corner here after a short break. Again, on BreakyCPK, joined by Elevated. Evil Geniuses up 1-0 against J.Storm. Can they qualify for the MDL Disneyland Paris Major with another victory here, or will we see a game 3? Well, we're going to find out next with game 2. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.